everybody, how are we going this week? This is the card we're going to make this week. How gorgeous is this? Look at this. It's called a candlelight card because it opens up and it's got like a box that's stuck to it, and as you can see it has candles in here. So you can make it as a side fold, as I have done here, or a top fold. So I have used all current products here, as you can see, and we are going to make another one in a different colour, a different style altogether. I've made quite a few. Here's another one that I've made that I used, that's a side fold one, and this one is using retired products as a side fold. So let's have a look, see what we need for this card. As I said, I'm making quite a few of these because I'm going to be giving them out as Christmas cards this year. Okay, so we're going to use the Tall Tidings set, and we're going to use this. May this season be filled with beautiful moments and happy memories for you and those you hold most dear, as well as the sentiment tag that says Christmas wishes, along with the die to cut it out with. And we're going to use the Nature's Beauty set again, and this time we're going to use the fox, and we're going to put him on a nice oval. So we're going to do that. We are going to use the ovals again. So the ovals, we need 3 ovals, and this time we need the 3rd largest and the 4th largest scalloped ovals, and the 1, 2, 3, 4, the 5th largest of the plain ovals. So pop them on one side. We're going to use our Memento ink again, and with this time we're going to use the Delicate ink again, in the silver shimmer it's called. We're also going to use a couple of our blender pens. We're going to use the dark pumpkin pie and the light and dark in the soft suede. I have 3 candles here. These are the larger ones, the deeper ones. So it will take the deeper ones. There's not just the little narrow ones. So let's get on with what we actually need to make the card, and it's not actually a real lot of cards. Now this is A4 sheeting, so we need a piece of cardstock that measures 11 3/4 by 8 inches. So all we're going to do is cut that. We've just cut that 1/4 of an inch off the side there. We're going to need some designer series paper, and in this case I'm using the Feels Like Frost, I think it's called, designer paper, and this measures 4 3/4 by 2 3/4, and another piece that measures 4 3/4 by 1 1/2, and an insert for our card that measures 4 3/4 by 2 3/4. And we need a piece of window sheet that is going to measure about 4 3/4 by 1 1/2. Okay, so let's pop them out the way. We need, for our ovals, we need a piece that measures about 3 inches square for our largest oval, and we need another piece that measures about 2 by 3 inches for our smallest oval, and about 2 1/2 by 3 for our medium-sized oval, and another piece of scrap for our sentiment that measures about 3 1/2, but we only needed about 1 1/2. So that's all our parts are done, and as you know, I don't bring the big shot into the picture, so I've already cut those all out ready. So let's bring our scoreboard in, because there's actually quite a lot of scoring on this card. So we're going to score this on the long side. There's my tool, there we go. We're going, oh, sorry about that, I don't know what happened there, it just went out of focus a bit, but there we go. On the long side we're going to score this at 1/2 inch. I don't know why it's going funny. 1 1/4 inches. 3 inches. Don't worry about that, that won't even show. 3 3/4 inches. And now we're going to turn it 180 degrees, so all the score lines are on this end. And we have a plain end here, and we're going to just move it just slightly away from the edge, and we're going to score this at 3 1/8. We're then going to turn this onto the short side, and we're going to score this at 3/4 inch and 1.5 inches. All the measurements will be on my Facebook group. If you wish to download that, you can. So, so we're going to turn this 180 degrees, and we're going to score this again at 3/4 inch and 1.5 inches. So as I was saying, all the measurements are with the written tutorial will be on my Facebook group. So if you would like that, just join my group. It's free, and you can download all the information. If not, you can listen to what I'm saying and write them down. Okay, so we've got all our card here. So now we're going to cut some of these lines. So we're going to cut down not the first one, but the second score line. And we're going to cut it down to the second score line from the long side. Excuse me. So where all the little squares are, they're down the bottom, and so on this long sides, we're going to cut right down that score line. And we're going to cut that piece off square. And we're going to do exactly the same on the other side. So these 4 large rectangles, leaving these 2, 4, 6, 8 small pieces here. Okay, so now I'm going to change to my small scissors only because it's easier, and I'm going to cut away this small square here. And we're going to cut these 2 squares away here on this end, and this little one here. And we're going to do exactly the same on the other end. So we're going to cut away this square, top square here, and the 2 squares, those got the rectangle, and then 2 squares here, and this last square here. Let's get rid of all those bits. Rubbish. Now we're going to notch this bottom piece in on both ends. And we're going to notch this one in, cut down to the second line, and notch it in the other side. Come here. And we're going to cut this one down to the second line, the first line now, and notch that in both sides. So our card should look like this. Or let's make that a bit neater looking there. It didn't look very neat, did it? That's it. So let's do this again. We're going to notch on that edge, we're going to notch and cut down on this edge. We're going to cut down here, on this side, and notch this one as well. So our card now, oops, let's get these bits out of the way. our card should look just like this now. So we should have our end pieces notched, the next two tabs either end of the large one notched. We're now going to round the corners with our corner rounder. This is optional on these. I don't know why my corner rounder doesn't like working today. I had the same problem earlier. Never mind, we'll make him look nice. And we're going to do the other end one. Oh gosh, it didn't go in there very nice at all. Never mind, we'll make him straight. And I'll make that one straight too. Look at that. Just like I bought one now. There we go. We're now going to burnish, fold and burnish all our score lines on this card. Everything gets folded the same way. And we're then going to put our piece of designer series paper onto the front panel here, which is, you've got the small panel that you've cut in, you've got the side panel, and this is the front panel. So we're going to pop that on here, and this is the 1.5 inch piece. I'm going to have to put a bit down the middle as well. Oops. And that's going to sit in the middle just there, like so. And the reason we're putting that one on now is because we're going to use our classic label punch to punch out our, as you can see in this one, I've punched this out here. Or if you don't have a classic label punch, you can actually cut this out. You can draw on the back here and cut it out with a craft knife. But because I have the label punch, I'll show you how to do it for this. So I'm going to tuck that first panel under, and I'd like to put it in from the back. I stand my punch up like so, so that I can get this right down as far as it will go. And then I make sure that these panels here are coming up, and I'm going to punch that out. Now I'm going to move it all the way down to the other end, doing the same thing. I'll stand it up again and make sure these pieces here on the end folding over, and then you can lay it down so that you know you're right. Oops, that's come out of where it's supposed to be. And we can, let me stand this up again. Okay. Oh my goodness, I'm having trouble today. And then we can punch that one out, and you're left with two tiny little pieces in the middle, which you can now punch out. I do it this way because I find that I actually get a much nicer line across here. Mind you, I did mark that a tiny bit on the end there, but it will be fine. Now we're going to use a bit of double-sided tape on the inside here. So I've only got the, what is this, the 1/4 inch one, which is all we need. And we're going to run a piece across the top of the opening and the bottom of that opening, plus a tiny bit on each end. I'm going to rub them down nice and tight and pull off our backing on all of them. Oops, get that piece. rubbish bin again. And with our window sheet, we're just going to pop that over the top of that and make sure it's nice and tight. And now we have our window. So now we're going to make this into a box. So what we need to do is we need to put tape, or in my case I'm going to put tape here because it's a bit stronger than the snail, along here. I'll put another piece because I've only got the very narrow one here. I didn't bring the half-inch one over with me. That was a bit silly. And then we're going to turn the box over, and we're going to fold it, not at the first line that's close to the window, the second line. We're going to do it at the first line that's close to the window. We're going to push that down, and we're going to put that under. So the window sheet is there. We've got one more panel here. The reason you do that is you'll get that nice and even across there, and you have your box. There you go, look at that. We have our box, so we can tuck our ends in. This is the part I always have trouble with. I don't know why, just lately. I'm all fingers and thumbs. I think I'm just ready for, I must put my candles in this while we're here. It will hold 3 of the larger candles, and they smell beautiful because they're all strawberry flavoured. Oh. It hasn't gone in properly. Oh, come on. There we go. Alright, so now we're going to do, we've now got our basic card. So now we're going to do a bit of stamping on our other piece of cards here, and we're going to stamp our saying that says, let's put that the right way. It says, may this season be filled with beautiful moments and happy memories for you and those you hold most dear. So, and that can then be stuck on the inside of the card. So, if you want it this way, you can have it this way, or you can have it this way. I prefer it this way. I don't know why, I just do. Pop this sideways. Put my ends like this, not sitting in there nicely. I'm going to just trim a tiny bit extra off this corner, so that he sits in there nicer. There we go. Beautiful now. And we're then going to put our other piece of designer paper on the outside. And this just goes in and get in there. So we are going to stamp our fox on this small piece so that we can colour him in. And he's absolutely gorgeous. I think he's just absolutely stunning. And we're going to stamp our sentiment on this other piece of white in the delicate silver. Now remember what we did last week, we popped it on there, we put the lid back on, then we put our hand on top and we counted to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I just find that it seems to sit on the paper much better when you do that. This takes a bit longer to dry, so we're going to pop that on one side, and as you know, I've already cut that out, which we have it cut out using our beautiful die just here. We will colour our fox in together. We are going to use the pumpkin pie dark, and I'm just going to do his tail with that. So that's his tail. We're going to colour the whole rest of him in the light soft suede. That's him all coloured in there. And with the dark soft suede, I'm going to go over the tail where all these dark parts are to give a bit more depth to it. And then the same around the bottom of his legs here, and around his middle here, and the top of his leg there, up his arms, around his ears and his eyes, and anywhere where it looks as if that's where it should be. And then we will cut him out with the plain oval. So I've already done that, so let's pop that on one side as well. And we have that cut out here, along with our, oh gosh, two other ovals. So we're now going to mount these all together. So we're going to mount our fox onto our, oh, come on, why won't it run? It's a brand new one, it should run. Onto our red, and then onto our silver foiled one, and then we're going to mount all of these onto dimensions. So we've got some here, so let's pop some on the back. Oops. And then we're going to pop these onto our card. Oops. Oh, stuck to my finger. And that will sit down there beautifully. And that's our card for the day. How gorgeous is that? And a lovely present. I think you could put some chocolates in there if you wanted to. If you didn't want to put tea light candles in there. But I think it's just a gorgeous card. Easy to make. I can't say that it was hard in any way, you know. I mean, and you don't have to use that. It can go side fold or top fold. It will stand up beautifully as a top fold. This, I made this poinsettia using the Rooted in Nature dies. So that uses 14 of the small, whatever you call them, leaves, and then and 2 of the large ones. And I just put them onto a circle. This one I used I can't remember the name of the stamp set for this one. So I just thought it was gorgeous, so that's that one. And this one is from a retired set from 2 Christmases ago. So that's pretty old, but for me that's okay because for what I'm building them for. This is using the Christmas plaid, and these beautiful dies are out of the they're in that annual catalogue, along with the Christmas tree die. I can't think what it's called. I'm having a mental blank here today. And then this one I did using the little elves, and this paper, and this is done in Pretty Peacock. This one is using all this set here is not retired, but the paper is retired, so I did that one for them. And then this one I did with using the Feels Like Frost paper again, and the cups, Christmas cups. So I hope you've enjoyed that. I think I've just about got mine. That's 2, 4, 6. That's it. I've got them all. 8 for my cards that I'm going to, the people that are going to get these. So I hope you've enjoyed that. It's gorgeous. I think it's gorgeous anyway, and I love this paper. So have fun, and I will see you again next week. Bye for now.